not sure, I think it's Luke, where it gives the 42 generations. This one begot this one begot that one, begot, until they get to Jesus, who is the descendant of David.
Right.
And these begotten were of flesh and blood. But then you said that Jesus, of course, God had no flesh and blood, but he still called him his only begotten son. Know that he was born of blood,
right,
through Mary, the virgin, but he himself as a spirit had no blood. And even though no intercourse was done for him to be born, he still declared him as his begotten son.
Okay, so what is your question then?
The question is, if he was not of flesh and blood as all of the other begottens, and he was born of the Spirit, why did God refer to him as his begotten son without the blood?
Okay, let me make it plain then. To begat something is to have someone, right? We understand that. If he's the only begotten son, he is actually saying that this is the only child that actually came from me.
Okay.
All the other people that came from Adam came from where? Where did Adam come from?
The dust.
Right. So if Adam came from the dirt begot them people. So what he's saying is, this is my only begotten son. This is the only person that came from me directly. Everybody else came from Adam, which Adam came from the dirt. So even if we go into the book, it even says that Adam, which was the son of God, that's in, I think it's Luke chapter 1 verse 62. He's actually breaking down to let you know that the reason why it says only in the front, because it's letting you know this is the only one that comes directly from God. Everyone else came from the dirt, but this is the only person that came directly from God. And then we understand that the Holy Spirit comes from God the Father, because Jesus says, I'm going to ask my Father to send the Holy Spirit and he will come to you. So that's the difference between the begotten. That's why we always, when he talks about it, as in Matthew 3:16 says he sends his only begotten son. So I'm going to send the son that came from me. I'm not going to send the first man, Adam, that came from the dirt. I'm sending the one that comes from the Spirit that was never born, but the Holy Spirit is going to have a body for him. That's Hebrews 10:5 is going to create a body for him so he can come into the earth. So Isaiah 9:6 says that a son is born, a child is born, but a son is given. You see the difference? So the birth of the child is there, but I already had the son to give. So the child is born, but the son is given. So that's the reason why I'm saying he's the only begotten, because he's the only one that came directly from me. And if I'm uncreated and I existed before existence even existed, that means my son has always been there. And let me give you a simpler way about it too, to add to being the Father. Everywhere through the Bible where it talks about God the Father, even before Jesus came into the place, they were always calling God the Father. I've only been a father for 23 years because that's how old my oldest child is. So my son is 23 years old, so I've only been a father for 23 years. Before that, I was not a father because I didn't have a child. So it's also letting you see that God has always had this son that always been there, and he always had this father role as this authority figure. So that's why he's always been the father, because there's always been a son.